Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Namah Parvati Padage, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsabesa, Sivasidambaram, Tenarude Sivane, Putri and Natavarkum Reva, Putri Thiruchitrambalam, Edukkum Makkadai in the Murchayulai, Nadakum Mainmai, Namakarul Seidida, Tadakai, Aindudai, Talsevi, Nilmudi, Kadakalichai, Karutulirtubam. உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான். சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேரிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறைச் செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகைடியார் பதம் ஒற்றி உலையவர் புராண கதை உலகறிய விரித்து உரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்துள் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி. ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் பணிவோம். பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear Shiva devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series. With the blessings of the Almighty Lord Shiva, we are here to think through the wonderful history of Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam. So far, we have completed the history of Srimad Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal, which is part of Vambara Varivandu section. So right after Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal, the next Nayanmar is Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar. Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar history in Periyapuranam has 409 verses, 409 songs composed by Thiruchitrambalam. But the actual history of Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar is covered only in the last 25 songs of this 409 verses. So what does Thiruchitrambalam cover from the beginning to maybe the first 380 verses of Periyapuranam? So Thiruchitrambalam covers the wonderful history of Sri Sundaramurti Swamigal. In Periyapuranam, Sundaramurti Swamigal, there is no specific Puranam for Sundaramurti Swamigal. His Sundaramurti Swamigal history is covered across multiple Nayanmar's history. So for instance, we talked about Sundaramurti Swamigal's before life in Kailash in Tirumalai Charkam. And then we covered a lot until Sundaramurti Swamigal composed Thiruchitrambalam in Thiruchitrambalam Puranam. Now we're going to cover a lot of most part of his history in Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam, and then further it will be covered in King Chairman Nayanar Puranam. Then at the end, it will also be covered in Vellani Sarkam. So you're going to be seeing is as a Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam in the title. We will have multiple parts like we had for Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal, but for the first 4 or 5 parts of the Puranam will cover Sundaramurti Swamigal history. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal and also to the 57th pontiff of Gunambatti Kalyanapuri Adina, Srila Sri Guru Mahasannidhanam, Srila Sri Rajasarvana Manikvasan Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar history. So Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal starts with the miracle that happened in Tirukolili. There was a staunch devotee lived in Tirukolili. His name was Kundayur Kilar. He was a very rich farmer and very well off and was addressed with great respect as Kundayur Kilar. He had a great regard for Sundarar. He admired Sundarar. He literally saw Sundarar as his guru, and he was also very keen on donating all the materials needed for the welfare of Shaiva spiritual services conducted by Sundara. So he was making sure that he sends all the worldly needs like paddy, lentils, jaggery, and everything else needed by Sundara and Paraya would be sent to them regularly by Kundayur Kilar because of Guru Bhakti. So this has been going on for several months, and during some time there was a worst famine where there was no rain, so lack of food. The Kundayikala was a bit afraid that he might not be able to extend his help and continue the services to Sundarati Swamigal as usual. He was so worried, and he went to Kolili temple, the Lord of Kolili, a wonderful temple, and prayed to Lord Shiva. I've been doing this service for my Guru Sundarati Swamigal for a long time, and because of this heavy drought, I'm afraid I don't even have enough of paddy for myself and in my village. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to send this to Sundara. So he prayed to Lord Shiva, and he went back home. He was sleeping at night. Shiva appeared in his dream, the Lord of Kolili. Lord Shiva appeared in his dream on that night and said, "Don't worry, I have given you a heap of paddy as huge as mountain, big mountain. That should be good enough to continue your services to Sundara, Sundarati Swami." And Lord Shiva also appeared in the dream of Sri Nambiyarur Sundarati Swami and conveyed this message to him as well, that a heap of paddy is now in the town of Tirkolili. Kuberan, the friend of Lord Shiva, left a heap of paddy in Kundayur as commanded by Lord Shiva. The next day morning, Kundayur Kular woke up and he was stunned to see the heap of paddy right in front of his house. And then he felt very grateful to the Lord of Kolili, and he went to Kolili temple and thanked the Lord. And then he also wanted to convey this to Sundara. He did not know that this message was conveyed to Sundara as well by the Lord of Kolili. He was worried how best to transport the paddy, this mountain of paddy, to Thiruvarur. Here, no, it's beyond human's capability. He realized that. So he went ahead and decided to meet Sundara to share this good news and also work out a way to transport them all to Thiruvarur. So in the meantime, Sundara also started coming towards Kundayur, and both of them met on the way. And then both of them went back to Kundayur together. And Sundara looked at the heap of paddy. He just looked at them just as the blessings of Lord Shiva. Then he realized this cannot be transported by human being. It's such a huge mountain of paddy. So he prayed to Lord Shiva. He went to go to the Kolili temple. He composed a marvelous Devara hymn in Natarahatyam. Then he asked the Lord Shiva, "This mountain of paddy was gifted by you. No human being can transport this to Thiruvarur. You need to help me as well. It's not that you just gave me a mountain of paddy and you just disappeared. No. You need to make sure that it gets transported to Thiruvarur." He composed a wonderful song. Let's also recite that song along with Sundara. Thiruchitrambalam நீள நினைந்தடியேன் உமை நித்தலும் கைதொழுவேன் வாழன கண்மடவாள் அவள் வாடி வருந்தாமே கோளிலியம் பெருமான் குடையூர் சில நெல்லு பெற்றேன் ஆளிலை எம்பெருமான் அவை அட்டி தரப்பணியே. Thiruchitrambalam. At the end, Nambiyar Swamigal also says, "நெல்லிட ஆட்கள் வேண்டி நினைந்தேத்திய பத்துமல்லார் அல்லல் களைந்து உலகின் அண்டர் வானுலக ஆழ்பவரே." This song, this Devara hymn, was composed to request the Almighty Lord Shiva for the labor to help transport this mountain of paddy from Kundayur to Thiruvarur. If anyone that recites this padiham will be free of all the sufferings, and finally they will also land the lotus feet of Lord Shiva and Shivaloka. What else do we need? We just go ahead and keep reciting this padiham. So he completed the padiham, and then immediately just a voice, an asariri, came up in the sky, none other than Lord Shiva. Shiva said, Shivabhuta Ganas will transport all the paddy to Thiruvarur tonight. Don't worry, go back to Thiruvarur. Sundara was very happy. Kundayil Kalara as well. Sundara went back to Thiruvarur. The paddy got transported by Shivaganas during that night, and they heaped the paddy in all streets of Thiruvarur. All streets of Thiruvarur. Devotees, this happened on the day of Uttara Nakshatra in Masi month, Tamil month Masi Nakshatra Uttara. And this function is still celebrated in Tirukolili and Thiruvarur. You could still see devotees disguise themselves as Shivaganas transporting paddy from Tirukolili to Thiruvarur. So when you get a chance, do try to visit this temple during Masi Magam in Thiruvarur. So the paddy got transported at night, and they heaped the paddy across all the streets in Thiruvarur. And Sundara and Paravyarthayar told the people of Thiruvarur, and they could take all the paddy laying in front of their homes. First of all, another point to be noted, in the Tirupadigam, Neerananindadiyen, Sundara Swami said, Valana Kanmadaval Vadi Varundami. Paravyarthayar was so worried because she could not do the feast, she could not organize a feast for Shiva devotees. Paravyarthayar she was very good at making a great feast for Lord Shiva and his devotees. So as she did not have the paddy at the right time, the service was getting disrupted. So that's why she was worried about it. She was not worried about that. She didn't have the paddy for herself. It is to serve the devotees of Lord Shiva. That's why the Swami mentioned, Valana Kanmadaval, our Vadi Varundami. Paravyarthayar gets worried when she doesn't have the paddy to serve the Lord Shiva devotees. Because it's one of the duties of Shiva devotee to feed another Shiva devotee. So now they got a mountain of paddy. All the starving people in Thiruvarur also got the food to eat and praise the Lord, and also Sundara as well. Sundara Swami will perform many such miracles during his life, and he continued to compose a lot of Devara hymns in Thiruvarur. And then one day he went to see another great Nayanmar, Sri Kotpuli Nayanar. So he went to Natiyatangudi, which is close to Thiruvarur as well. Kotpuli Nayanar was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva, and also an admirer of Sundarar. He was serving as a Senadipati. It's more of a chief commander of the armed forces of Chola Emperor. And Kotpuli Nayanar was also an admirer of Sundarar, and he invited, actually, Sundarar was invited to visit his home by him. And Sundarar went to his home, and Sundarar was given a befitting welcome in the traditional way. Kotpuli Nayanar did Pada Puja and did all the required rituals that we should always do for our Guru as per Shaiva Agama rules. And Kotpuli Nayanar, at the end of his worship, Kotpuli Nayanar asked he had a couple of daughters, Singadi and Vanapage. He asked them to come down, and he told Sundara Swami, if you could accept them as your slaves. I have two daughters. If you could accept them as your slaves and allow them to serve you, we'll be blessed to do that. Sundara said, both of them are my daughters. not slaves. I will keep them as my daughters. And Kotli Nayanar was so happy to hear that. And Sundaramurti Nayanar also mentioned in many, many Padiham as father of Vanapagai and Singedi. You could see that in most of the Padihams that composed by Sundaramurti Swami. And then Sundaramurti Nayanar went back to Thiruvarur and he continued to sing more Padihams, praise the greatness of Lord Thyagesar and Puchidangondar to his heart's content. And this is the time of Pangani Uttram. Pangani Uttram was about to come. Pangani Uttram is very, very auspicious day for Lord Shiva. Even now, you could see lots of Brahmotsava happen during Pangani Uttram. So the day would be celebrated with enthusiasm. A lot of Utchavas in temple and also Atmata Puja, Maheshwara Puja, etc. It is the time Paravayatayar, Paravinachya would give generous dhanam to Shiva devotees, organizing great feast to feed Lord Shiva devotees and also the deserving people. And it was also the time where she would dance in front of her favorite deity, Lord Thyagesar. And so this time Paravyataya was lacking gold to celebrate the Pangani Uttram because it's also one of the key requirements for Shiva devotees to give gold coins to fellow Shiva devotee who is in need of it. So a devotee getting a gold coin, what will he do? He will just use it for the spiritual purpose, and then that will even help revive Shaivism as well. So Paravyatayar did not have enough of gold to celebrate Pangani Uttram. She asked her divine husband, Sundaramurti Swamigal, for help. Then Sundaramurti Swamigal went to Thirupugalur. When we say Thirupugalur, immediately you would recall it's the Mukti Sthalam of Sri Thiruchitrambalam Swamigal. So he went to Thirupugalur and prayed to the Lord and requested for more money to celebrate Pangani Uttram in a grand manner in Thiruvarur. He finished his worship and then he spent the night at the temple, at mud close to the temple, and then he took some of the bricks laying over there as a pillow, and he used them as the pillow to sleep. And then when he woke up the next morning, all the bricks had turned into a solid gold. What a miracle! So all the bricks turned into a solid gold with the blessings of Lord Shiva. Then Sundaramurti Swami got so excited. Then he went inside the temple. He praised the Lord, Agnishwara, the goddess Karandal Kodiyamai, and composed a wonderful Devara hymn in Kolli tune, starting Tamme Pugalniche Pesu. Let's also recite that song along with Sundaramurti Swami. Thiruchitrambalam. தம்மையே புகழ்ந்திச்சை பேசினும் சார்பினும் தொண்டர் தருகிலா பொய்மையாளரை பாடாதே எந்தை புகழூர் பாடுமின் புலவீர்காள் இம்மையே தரும் சோறும் கூரையும் ஏத்தலாம் இடர்கடலுமாம் அம்மையே சிவலோகம் ஆழ்வதற்கு யாதும் மையுறவு இல்லை. So this song is a wonderful message to all of us. Whoever you prize in this world, a human being, right? Whatever you may call him a young, handsome man, he may be a 60, 70 years old man, but you may call him a young, handsome man. Still, he won't give you anything. So don't prize such people that cannot or won't give you anything. Instead, you praise the Lord of Thirupugalur. You will get everything you need to live on this earth, and then also, for sure, you will be living happily in Shivalokam after life. அம்மையே சிவலோகம் வாழ்வதற்கு யாதும் ஐயுறவில்லை. That's the message. Then Sundaram Swamigal happily left the temple. He went back to Thiruvarur. He gave the gold to Paravayar Nachiyar. And then Paravayar Nachiyar made the best use of the gold to celebrate Pagani Uttaram in a grand manner. She organized very grand feast for Shiva devotees. And she also gave most of the gold coins as dana to Shiva devotees, which could be used for many, many spiritual purposes, pilgrimage, and so on. So they celebrated in a very grand manner. Then Sundarata Swamigal went on pilgrimage to other Shiva temples in Cholanadu. He went to Tiruvalambolil, had a great darshan. He was staying there at night. And then the Lord of Tirumalabadi came in his dream and said, "Did you forget to meet me in Tirumalabadi?" And then Sundaran got up, and then he went to Tirumalabadi, and then he composed a wonderful Devara hymn, Punnar Meniyane, Puli Tolai Araikasittu, Minnar Senjadai Milkonde Anindavane, Manne Mamuni, Badabadiyul, Kalikkame, Anne Unayalla, Ini Yarinakine, my Lord. How can I forget you? Who will I think of other than you? Such a wonderful Tirupadigam. It's also, the Chekla Swami prices that Tirupadigam as Tannerila Tirupadigam. No other Tirupadigam can equal this Padigam. It's a Tannerila Tirupadigam. Such a wonderful Devara hymn. When you get a chance, do chant that, do recite that Padigam. Then Sundarata Swami continued his pilgrimage towards many, many temples. He visited Thiruvanika, Tirupachalacharamam, Tirupainjili, and so on. And then he also went to Pondikodumudi in Kongunadu, composed a wonderful Sri Panchakshara Tirupati in that temple. Matru Pattanakindin Tirupadame Manam Pavithin. பெற்றலும் பிறந்தேன் இனி பிறவாத தன்மை வந்தேன் கற்றவர் தொழுது எத்தும் சீர்கரையூரி பாண்டி கொடுமுடி நற்றவா உன்னை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் நான் நம சிவாய. Even if I forget you, my Lord, my tongue will never forget you. My tongue will never forget to say Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. My tongue got a mark of Namah Shivaya because I stated that million times. Such a wonderful Panchakshara Tirupadigam. Remember, Devara Bhuvar Mudaliyal have composed Panchakshara Tirupadigam. Upper Swamigal composed Sotanevedian Tirupadigam. Trinyasandra Swamigal composed 2 Panchakshara Tirupadigam, Kadalagi Kasindu Kannir Malgi and Tunjalam Tunjalilada Poldinam. Nambigal Swamigal and Biarura Paraman composed Panchakshara Tirupadigam, which is this one, Matru Pattanakindri. So when you get a chance to recite them. Then he continued this pilgrimage further. He visited many auspicious temples. He is in Nadunadu. He wanted to go to Kudalai Attru temple. Actually, he wanted to go to Tirumudugundram. He wanted to go to Tirumudugundram, Viruthachalam temple. But Lord Shiva came opposite to him, disguised as a Shiva devotee, Vedic Brahmin, and he said, "I would take you to Udugundram. Follow me." Then he guided and accompanied Sundara up to Kudalayapur temple. Then he disappeared. Then Sundara Swami realized, oh, the Lord wanted me to see Kudalayapur instead of Tirumudugundram. Then he composed a wonderful Vadiyudi Mollibe in the Kudalayapur temple. Then he went to Tirumudugundram. In Tirumudugundram, Sundarati Swami composed a wonderful, marvelous Tirupadigam called Meyyai Muttapudi Pusiyor Nambi. Vedam Nangum Virittu Odiyor Nambi. Wonderful Tirupadigam. Devotees, don't miss that. Make sure you recite it at least once. You get a chance. He composed that Devara hymn and praised the Lord. Then the Lord gifted him with 12,000 gold coins. The Sundara asked for gold coins to continue to support, to celebrate further functions in Thiruvarur. So this time, Lord Shiva gifted him with 12,000 gold coins. And Sundara became worried how to carry all of them, all of this gold, to his way back to Tiruvarur and keep them safe. And he asked the Lord, so how do I do? What do I do? And then the Asariri came from Paramalainathar of Tirumudugundram, the Lord of Tirumudugundram. He said, drop these coins in the river Manimuttaru, a holy river flowing in Tirumudugundram. Then you can collect them from Kamalalaya, the pond, the holy pond in Tiruvarur. Then Sundar just went ahead and then he took one small piece to compare the purity of the gold later. Then he dropped all the gold, all the 12,000, all the coins in the river, Manimutta river, as directed by the Lord. And then he continued his pilgrimage further. And now Sundara reached Chittambaram. Tillai Brahmins welcomed him, and the priest took him to the temple. He became very happy. He sang the praise of the Lord in beautiful Tirpadigam. One Tirpadigam devotees, I do want to mention it here. Sundar Swamigal has composed a Padigam in Chittambaram, in Kurinji Pan tune. It starts with Maditadu Madimekam. Maditadu Madimekam. Let me tell you this. If you don't want to get stuck in the clutches of Yamadharma, Kaladudas, and if you don't want to get stuck in hell, you must recite this Padiyam. It's all about that. Every song, Sundar song explains how the Lord Shiva protects his devotees from the clutches of Yamadharma. Thiruchitrambalam. Let's recite this Padiyam along with Sundar song. Thiruchitrambalam. Maditadu madimaikam nandriye mananeni vaazhum naalum தடுத்தாட்டி தருமனார் தமர்செக்கிலிடும்போது தடுத்தாட்கொள்வான் கடுத்தாடு கரதலத்தில் தமருகமும் எரியகலும் கரிய பாம்பும் பிடித்தாடி புலியூர் சிற்றம்பலத்தம்பெருமானை பெற்றாமன்றே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தடுத்தாட்டி தருமனார் தமர்செக்கில் இடும்போது தடுத்தாட்கொள்வான். The Lord will come and protect you from Kaladudas. So do recite this Padikam. Such a wonderful Padikam. And then Sundar Swamigal headed towards Tiruvarur. He reached Tiruvarur after visiting many Shiva Kshetrams. And now he needs to collect his gold back from Tiruvarur Kamalalaya pond. We will cover that in the next class. Let's end the session for today. The Chittambalam. என்றும் இன்பப் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளோம் ஓங்கிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகள் என்றதெங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சபேச சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. ஸ்ரீ நம்பி ஆரூரர் பெருமான் மலரடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.